This morning, Kabam opened up a poll to see which of these 7 champions the community wants buffed the most. There's a bunch of kind of mediocre champions on the list, including Venompool, Old Man Logan, Groot, Colossus, Howard the Duck, Iron Patriot, and Kamala Khan. Bunch of champions that the community's been asking to buff for a while now. And it's probably too late for me to sway anyone's decision. It's already 5:30 at night. The polls opened up at 10 a.m., so I'm sure most votes are in. Um, and that's all right. Originally I wasn't really planning on making a video. Originally, I didn't care a ton which champion got buffed, and originally my plans were just to vote for Colossus. He's the only 2015 mutant champion on the list, and I was thinking, well, the 2015 gems from Variant, they're really not all that useful right now, so we might as well get one useful rank up out of the 2015 gems, right? But I felt kind of bitter about it because I also feel like Colossus is the least interesting champion on this list. And I was kind of talking about it during live streams the past few nights, how, yeah, just all of the other champions, in my opinion, are more interesting. And I couldn't put into words exactly how I felt. And then I realized as I was looking at my own roster and trying to figure out who my next rank up was going to be. Who my next big rank up, my next rank 5 rank up is going to be. And as you look at your roster looking for rank ups, usually there's a decision they have to make between champions that are awesome and powerful, actually useful in something like Alliance War, Alliance Quest, regular questing. Maybe they have some unique utility that you really need for a certain area of the game and you want to rank up the champion for that, or they're just really fun, right? Their abilities provide some unique gameplay, something like that. And you want to rank up one of these champions, but then you start to think, oh man, I could really use some more prestige. Right? I just wish my alliance was ranking a little bit higher in Alliance Quest, secure those extra rewards on a weekly basis. And I have this champion over here, Fraggle Rock, Thor Ragnarok, who has the highest prestige out of all the 5-star champions in the game. And I guess I could rank him up. And it feels kind of bad when you make that decision, right? It felt pretty bad ranking up Thor Ragnarok, even though I felt like it was the right thing to do. And that's kind of how I feel about Colossus. That's the best way I could put it, is that Colossus is the prestige rank up on this list. He makes the 2015 gem useful in that, it's actually going to be probably a pretty decent champion after Kabam gets done with him. But I think he really is the least interesting champion on this list. Like, if I had to put them all in an order, it would go something like this. Number 1 would be Howard the Duck, because he's in a freaking mech suit, and you could do anything in a mech suit, right? Like, Kabam could design any number of awesome abilities for him to have. Plus, I think his animations are some of the best in the entire game. The special one, the detail that's put in there, the special 2, him like spraying those bullets or whatever, hanging on for dear life. Special 3, the kill animation, I love it all about Venom the Duck. It's just he's not super powerful. Old Man Logan, I would say, is number 2. He feels like it feels like he has offensive potential that's not quite tapped into at the moment. But the healing that he has is great. I actually prefer that he's not fully bleed immune. The last thing that we need in this game is another fully bleed immune champion being a top tier defender or whatever, right? It's just, man, when there's some bleed immunity spread throughout the game, I think it's a good thing. When every relevant character that was released in the past couple of years is bleed immune, man, it's just it limits the potential of other champions like Archangel, and I'm kind of sick of it, to be honest. When it comes to champions like Old Man Logan, he has the ability to shrug off bleeds a little bit faster than the average champion. Super useful for newer players, basically just as useful as being fully bleed immune. Reducing the damage a ton from the bleeds, and doesn't limit what other champions can do against him as much. So I think it's a really good balance of what Old Man Logan brings to the table in terms of that how he can get around bleeds. Groot would probably be number 3 on my list of most interesting, because he's Groot, man. He is Groot, right? Like, he's just a big tree character. I feel like we need someone like that in the game. Yeah, we have King Groot, but Well, I mean, let's face it, King Groot is not exactly everyone's first choice to play either. So if they could make one of the two champions pretty good, that'd be awesome. Fourth on the list here would probably be Kamala Khan. I think her animations are actually really cool as well, the way she grows her fist or her foot. Her special three, maybe not so interesting, but yeah, I feel like she has a lot of offensive potential. Not to mention, really, she's fourth on my list, but honestly, I would rather see pretty much any of the healing champions get buffed more so than anyone else on the list. There's 5 out of the 7 of these champions have some type of healing ability that I feel like would be way more beneficial for newer players. Help them save items while questing. Help them to boost their confidence if they get one of the healing champion early on. Help boost their confidence and allow them to get through Alliance quest uh, without worrying about running out of items or something. Because that's one of the most anxiety-inducing parts of the game is when you're trying to find a new alliance and you're trying to prove yourself and you don't want to have them think that they made a bad choice by inviting you because you let the team down or something like that, right? So just having another healing champion at your disposal would really help that and help out new players. I don't think Colossus or Kamala Khan is going to bring that to the table. Those are the two champions that don't heal. But of those two, Colossus is more defensive, Kamala Khan's more offensive. So I feel like, at least if Kabam went with Kamala Khan, at least it would be more fun to play. But anyway, moving down the list here. Number 5 on my list of most interesting, I would say, is Venompool. Venompool, he would have made it much higher on the list if we didn't already have really good symbiote characters. Venom just got buffed. Carnage just got buffed. Venom the Duck is awesome. My favorite character in the entire game at the moment. So do we really need another one? Probably not. But he is unique in that he's combined with Deadpool. And there could be a lot of cool things there. I really enjoy how Venompool's Special 1 works. It's very similar to Venom's Special 1, where you get some healing if you can steal a buff off the opponent. And if you think about what a new player is like when they first start out playing the game, they're mostly just kind of mashing the screen here, similar to button mashing on a mobile device, right? And they see their special meter light up, and as soon as they see that button, instantly want to tap it, right? Before you think about all the strategy involved. Just as it's like when you're a brand new player, right? So I feel like Venompool would be great if they buffed up Venompool. It'd be a great pull for a new player to have that sustainability without having to think too much and be too complicated, to understand. So yeah, he would be next on my list. Iron Patriot. We're getting towards the bottom of the list here if I'm talking about Iron Patriot because he's also not that interesting just because we have other Iron dudes in the game at the moment. But he is 6th on the list. He's above Colossus in my opinion in terms of if he would actually be interesting. His animations are a little bit different than, like classic Iron Man, Superior Iron Man. I feel like his Special 1, the way his beam just looks visually, you could add utility into that where it's not just a damage dealing type of ability. And then his Special 2, out of all the Iron dudes in the game right now, their Special 1 and Special 2, they're all ranged attacks. So I like that Iron Patriot actually has that kind of up close and personal spin attack that he does, where maybe that could be like the damage dealer, where the Special 1's the utility. So I don't think he would be that bad to see get buffed. It's just he's lower on my list because there are so many Iron Men in the game at the moment. And then last on the list is Colossus. What can you say about Colossus? Man, this guy can really take a hit. Neat. Kabam could change his abilities any which way, but at the end of the day, the game needs a balance of offensive characters, defensive characters, and utility kind of sprinkled in there. And the way I envision Colossus, the type of champion I think he would be, is more suited towards that defender, right? I don't see him as an offensive champion. I don't really want him to be a super powerful offensive champion. Like that's all the champions I want to play are these more offensive champions. But I don't want every champion in the game to be able to take down a Labyrinth of Legends fight in under 5 minutes. And if we need some champions that are designated more as defenders, I feel like Colossus fits the bill. So, I feel like he is going to be more of that defensive character. And then, originally I didn't care. I was just thinking, well, it doesn't matter what Kabam's going to do with the character. He's a 2015 mutant. People need someone to give their 2015 mutant gems to. And then the more I thought about it, what types of players are getting these 2015 rank up gems? Players who are completing variant. I don't know if Colossus would be all that useful for players that are already completing variant. Maybe it would be. It depends on exactly how the character is designed, but most players who have gotten that far into the game, they're more focused on offensive characters because you do a whole lot more hitting in this game than getting hit at the later stages of the game, right? Like early on, Colossus, as he is in the current state of the game, he's a great character for people to get. Just because he's a tank, he can take a beating. When you're going up against a skill champion that you have class advantage against, you don't have to worry about suffering from a bleed from someone like Black Panther. I loved Colossus early on, but if he's just like kind of a buffed up, reworked version of that, I don't know if that really matters for players who have completed variant. You know, Kabam's done a pretty good job of designing, champions recently, so I'm sure they would give him some type of utility where maybe he'd be useful in some situations. But I don't know, man. I just don't know if we need another bleed immune, defense focused champion for players who have completed variant. Um, so I think I'm changing my vote. I was going to vote for Colossus originally, but I always felt bad about it just because it just didn't feel right. I was only doing it because of the 2015 gem. And now, who am I going to vote for? Well, my top three, like I said, were Howard the Duck, Groot, and Old Man Logan. As far as most interesting, and kind of want another mutant champion that's good though. So we're gonna go with Old Man Logan. I think that's gonna be my vote. I'm not sure any of this matters. Like I said, it's already pretty late in the evening at this point. I'm sure most votes are in, and I'm sure a lot of people had the same idea that I did when it came to Colossus and him being a 2015 champion. I know that's probably the most common champion I saw on Reddit. I know Seaton wanted to go with Colossus. I know a bunch of other people wanted to go with Colossus. And, like I said, for a while I agreed just because it was a 2015 Mutant Champion. But the more I thought about it, I don't think that's the play here. So we'll see how things turn out after Kabam do go ahead and buff one of these champions. But maybe for the next time, maybe the next time Kabam does this, if they do this again, because I think this is pretty cool. I think Kabam should do this again. Maybe if they do this again, maybe people's minds will be changed a little bit based on the next set of champions and how this one turns out. In any case, let me know who you guys voted for. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.